Behind every smartphone, missile, and electric car, there's a silent battle underway, and you've probably never heard of it. It's not about oil, it's not about data, it's not even about semiconductors. It's about 17 mysterious elements, with names like neodymium, terbium, and dysprosium. They're small, they're scattered, but they hold the power to change everything. This is the rare earth war, and it could decide the future of technology and who controls it. Let's rewind. What are rare earth elements anyway? They're a group of 17 metallic elements on the periodic table, and they have some strange, but incredibly useful, qualities. They're magnetic, they glow under UV light, they resist corrosion, they're super efficient conductors. That means they're critical for the world's most advanced tech. You'll find them in electric vehicles, wind turbines, smartphones, satellites, LED screens, military weapons, and even your headphones. Let's break down a few. Neodymium is used to make tiny but powerful magnets, essential for EV motors and wind turbines. Dysprosium and terbium make those magnets stable in high heat, like inside fighter jets or rockets. Europium helps create vivid reds and blues in your TV or phone screen. Lanthanum improves camera lenses and is used in hybrid car batteries. Individually, they're used in grams or milligrams. But without them, your clean energy future collapses. So, where do we get these rare earths? And who controls the supply? Here's where the story shifts from science to geopolitics. China dominates the rare earth market, over 60% of global production, and more than 85% of refining capacity is in Chinese hands. They don't just dig it up, they process it, they set the prices, and they decide who gets what. How did that happen? Back in the 1980s, while the US and Europe were tightening environmental rules and outsourcing mining, China doubled down. They built the infrastructure, cut prices, and made the rest of the world dependent. The result? Today, even rare earths mined in the US are often shipped to China for refining. That's like drilling for oil and sending it overseas just to turn it into gasoline. This isn't just an economic issue, it's a strategic vulnerability. In 2010, China had a diplomatic clash with Japan. And what did they do? They cut off rare earth exports. Just like that, overnight, prices skyrocketed, industries panicked, and everyone realized how fragile the system really is. Fast forward to the US-China trade war. Chinese state media made it clear. Rare earths could be used as a geopolitical weapon. The message? We control the materials. You better play nice. And they weren't bluffing. If China ever restricts exports again, countries could lose access to the tech they need to function. We're talking fighter jet components, missile systems, renewable energy infrastructure, even electric buses and trains. So what's the world doing about it? There's a global scramble to reduce dependence. Let's take a quick tour. The US is trying to revive domestic production, especially at Mountain Pass, California, one of the only rare earth mines in North America. But here's the catch. The refining part still mostly happens in China. Australia is stepping up too. Their company, Linus Corporation, is the only major rare earth processor outside China. They're working with partners in Japan and the US to build cleaner, independent supply chains. The European Union is investing in green mining and rare earth recycling. They're backing projects to extract rare earths from old electronics and industrial waste. Africa, especially countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, and Madagascar, is becoming a new frontier. The US, China, and EU are all racing to partner with these nations. But this isn't easy. Rare earth extraction is messy. It requires massive investment, and environmental pushback is real. So, what if China did pull the trigger? What if they fully weaponized their control over rare earths? Let's play that out. Say tensions rise over Taiwan, South China Sea, or a new trade war. China could cut off exports to the US, Europe, Japan. Almost overnight, EV factories stall. Wind turbine production halts. Military supply chains break. Prices surge globally. And panic sets in. Entire industries could be held hostage, not by warships or missiles, but by supply chain blackmail. And it wouldn't be the first time. We've already seen it happen. That's why countries aren't just worried, they're stockpiling. creating national reserves of rare earths, just like they once did with oil. Because this isn't about market forces anymore, it's about national security. Here's the big question: can the West catch up? Short answer, not quickly. Building a rare earth supply chain from scratch takes decades. It's not just about digging holes in the ground. You need mines, refineries, transport systems, skilled workers, environmental approvals, political will, and most importantly, you need money. Lots of it. And even when the mine is ready, what then? Refining rare earths is a toxic, complicated process. That's why so many countries were happy to let China do it in the first place. But that shortcut came at a cost. Now, with China holding the cards, there's a race to rebuild capabilities. Slowly, but surely. New technologies and strategies are emerging. Lynas Corporation, based in Australia, is expanding operations and becoming a key supplier to Western allies. Japan and South Korea are exploring ways to reduce their dependence by diversifying their tech designs. The European Union is going all in on recycling and urban mining. They want to extract rare earths from old smartphones, batteries, and even wind turbine blades. There's also a growing push for green mining. That means cleaner, safer, and more sustainable ways of extracting and refining these elements. And some researchers are going even further, developing synthetic substitutes, materials that can do the same job as rare earths without the geopolitical baggage. But we're not there yet. These are long-term bets, not quick fixes. China, of course, isn't sitting still. They're locking down deals across Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. They're offering infrastructure, loans, and partnerships in exchange for access to raw materials. It's a new kind of empire, built not on land, but on resources. The US is trying to counter this through trade deals, defense cooperation, and investments in allied supply chains. The EU is positioning itself as the leader in sustainable rare earth strategy. Meanwhile, countries like India, Vietnam, and Brazil are starting to enter the rare earth race. The result? A global arms race over the periodic table. Big politics. But what does this mean for me? Everything. Because rare earths are everywhere in your life. Your smartphone contains at least 9 rare earths. That electric car you've been eyeing runs on rare earth magnets. Your TV, your laptop, your solar panels, even your AirPods, they all rely on them. If prices go up or supplies tighten, you'll feel it in your wallet, in delayed shipments, in rising energy costs, in stalled innovation, and in global headlines. Because rare earths are no longer just a scientific curiosity. They're a tool of influence, of control, of power. The rare earth war isn't science fiction. It's not in the future. It's happening right now. 17 elements scattered across the earth, essential to modern life, controlled by just a few. This isn't just a resource issue. It's the foundation of a new global order. Whoever controls rare earths controls the future. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. Subscribe to stay ahead of the stories that matter. We post weekly deep dives into global trends, tech, and power shifts that most people never see coming. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious,